Now, I know a lot of you aren't going to believe this, but since I have no videos to record, I'm just going to do this. This is a story about an experience that I had when it was but I think it was like a year or two ago. And this was a very, very scary experience. So I don't know what happened, but all I know was one night when I went to bed, I was thinking about something that this kid was talking about at school. And it was like he went into hell or something, and so basically I just fell asleep that night, and as soon as I knew it, bam, I was in hell. I was falling, and it seems like my whole life was flashing before my eyes. I was just free falling, and I did not stop. It felt like it was going forever. And I finally, bam, smack dab hit the ground. I felt pain for a split second, and I was out like a light. And then I woke back up, and I was in chains on this very, very hot surface. It was very hard, it was like as hard as concrete, probably even harder, because you could not break it. And I was shaking in the chains. And once he heard the chain movement, walking into the room, and the red, as red as it could be, with very, very sharp horns, Satan appeared. I cannot explain what he looked like. All I did was I just saw the shadowy figure walking, and he was just way, way more than just blood red. Way more than just the darkest red you could even imagine. And I was like, is this Satan? And I even asked him, are you the devil? And he answered, yes, Paul, I am the devil. And I was like, how does he know my name? He somehow heard me, and he said, I know everybody's name, everybody that's gone to heaven, everybody that's gone to hell. He said he knew everybody's name. And this is basically what I'm going off that I can remember. And he said to me 3 times, do you want to go to heaven or do you want to go to hell? And I said, I want to go to heaven. I don't want to be here if this is what it feels like. Because it felt like I was just all the sweat. It was like I was sweating tremendously. All the sweat, it felt like blood dripping down my face. It felt like my skin was melting and tearing off. I think I might have actually bit my lip, and I don't know, but I think I bit myself a couple times to see what was going on. But I can remember all this pain and suffering and torment. And so he asked me that question again. Do you want to go to heaven or do you want to go to hell? I'm like, I want to go to heaven. He's like, you got to make the right decision. Do you want to go to heaven or do you want to go to hell? And I said heaven 3 times. And so he said, so basically he handed me this thing, or he showed me this thing that showed Jesus on it. It actually showed Jesus on it. And basically he threw that piece of thing, I don't know if it was paper or what it was, he threw it into burning fire like stuff. It burned. And I heard screams coming from it. And he said, that's your master screaming. And so that is what made me jump. And then I was falling again, which legit felt like 24 million years of falling. I finally hit the ground, but this time I wasn't on the wall anymore and I didn't fall asleep. I was just in so much pain. And I was trying to get out of there. I was running to this gate. I touched the gate, and it felt so hot. My hands, I thought they were going to swell. I thought they were going to bubble and blister. And they were just fine. They looked pretty much the way they look right now, except they were clean. And then I got this burning sensation on my shoulder. I grabbed my shoulder and I turned around, and there was Satan right there. And he looked like he was going to be a bull ready to charge at me. And I was like, how do I get out of here? And he said, if you want to get out of here, you have to follow these. I had to follow what he was trying to say. And so I just knelt down on my knees and started praying, please, Lord, let me out of here, let me out of here, let me out of here. And so Satan, he came running towards me. And the second that I thought he was going to hit me, boom, I was floating in floating above him. I looked up, and there was Jesus. And he said, and all he was doing was intense breathing. And he said something like, "You are safe now, my child." And then I woke up. I was beating sweat when I woke up. My bed kind of felt soaked. I felt soaking like in sweat. I was breathing really, really heavy. I thought it was an out of body experience, but I don't know if I was dreaming or if I was out of my body for like how long. Cause I woke up when I checked. So when I fell asleep, it was probably for like 9 or 10. When I checked the time, it was only around midnight or like 1 o'clock in the morning. Actually, it might have been. I might have been between like midnight and 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, I was only out for that long, only out for like 2 or 3 hours, and that felt like millennium. And I was just beating sweat, and I was like, oh, too bad my mom's not awake. Because I actually told her, and I don't remember what she said, but I woke up, and I was like, oh my God. And I felt like I was dead for like a couple hours. And then another story that I want to tell you that kind of includes this is another night. I was about to ready to go to sleep, and I was out. I couldn't move. I couldn't do anything. I was not moving. I thought I was breathing, but I wasn't moving. I wasn't walking. I wasn't laying down sleeping. No, it was like I was like sleepwalking, because next thing I remember, I was getting up out of my bed. I opened the door. I couldn't see anything. And then it was just this pitch blackness. And I heard an echoing of a little child that sounded just like me when I was younger, saying, "No, please, don't do this." And I'm like, is this me? Is this me? Because I couldn't see anything. It was just pitch black, and it kind of was like my eyes were shut. And then it was me dangling off the wall with blood dripping down my face. I was like, what is going on? I started legit crying myself. I was like, I don't know if I was wetting myself. I don't know if I was myself. I don't know what was going on. But I could remember seeing myself on the wall and look pretty much the way I looked when I went to sleep that one night, talking about when I went to hell. Like, I felt like I was in hell or something. The same. I was like, is this like a mirror image of me dead? I looked at my hand, and there was blood all over my hand. I looked at my other hand, and it was pure white, like a ghost. Like, I could probably see through my hand at that point. I was like, what? I was like, does this resemble heaven, and does this resemble hell? And then I turn around, the door slammed shut. And then I turn around, and there was no wall. There was no me, no blood, no nothing. I looked at my hands. There was nothing on my hands. And I was saying to myself, what is going on? So I started praying again. I was like, please, Lord, help me. So help me. Get me out of here. I don't want to be here. Next thing you know, I woke up. I had so much pain in my head. I was like, what is going on? I couldn't open my eyes. But I felt pain in my head. And then it was like I was walking again. I was like walking into my kitchen. Like I was getting something to eat, right? Well, you're wrong, because I went to grab something, and the thing legit moved. It slammed shut, and I was legit trying to pull my arm out. I pulled it out. I saw flesh and bone and so much blood dripping down my arm on the floor. It was like a pool of blood. And I said, what is going on? Is this legit what's going to happen to me when I'm older or something? I thought this was going to, like, happen to me. And then my hand started moving like this. Like, I was not moving. Like, right now I'm moving my hand. But I was not moving my hand. My hand just started shaking. It was on the floor shaking. Grabbed me by the foot, and it ripped my foot off. Clean off my body. And I fell over. And I was like, what's going on? What's going on? And then I woke up in my own bed. I was not awake. I'm telling you right here, right now, I was not awake. I was still in a dream. I woke up, and all I saw was blood. And then I looked up, and since my window's over there, and my bed was like on this side at the time, I leaned over. my blinds were pulled up, and there was this it looked just like my face. Blood dripping down my face. My eyes were pitch blank. But then it started talking, saying, "Do you want this to happen to you when you die?" And I jumped. And that's when I woke up. I jumped out of my bed. I was fully awake at this time. I was dripping sweat. My heart was beating very fast, like faster than it was in that one dream when I was in hell. It was just beating like this, at like 1,000,000 miles per second. And I said, "What is going on to me? What is going on to me?" And I could not go to sleep again that night. And guess what? I went to bed at like 9 or 10 again. I woke up at 11:30 in the morning. It was only like a half an hour, maybe to an hour sleep. And I was like, how? When that felt like forever. I was like, how? So I did end up going back to sleep that night because I was just so tired. And that's basically it. My experience with some traumatic. It was very, that is, I want to say something right here, right now. I'm a fan of horror movies. So I thought this would be a scene in a horror movie that was more than just rated R or anything. Because who wants to see a person's face getting mauled off? Because I didn't tell you this, but at the very end of that second dream, it was like my face was getting mauled off. And all I saw was flesh and blood. No bones, just flesh and blood. And so I woke up and I was like, I don't want guys, I don't want any more of these. So if you guys actually had an experience like this, comment down below. I'd like to read it, because I might be doing like a fans comments video or something. But yeah, that is legit what happened. And I don't want anyone to that's why I'm explaining my story right here, right now. I don't want anyone to experience this. I don't even know if I was really dead or not, because I don't want that to... Bro, something right back there over my shoulder was just moving. But I don't want anything like that to happen to any of you guys. Stay positive, and I'll see you guys in the next one.